Hey,
Yeah, that's all right. I had a late night last night. I'm not quite with it.
Oh, catches up with us all. Catches up with us
I know.
all.
I can't do it like I used to.
No,
Who's asking for a passcode, Steve?
I
Ollie,
don't know. I just saw it pop up on the screen.
Ollie's asking for a
Maybe
postcode.
several, probably. 'cause
Well,
I don't understand why they need a
they need to
passcode.
come in on the.
Just press that link and you come
Not
straight.
all-
in.
not all-
So they're coming in on an old link. I know. I
Yeah.
sent it now, so they should be able to see it.
It's not all the equipment's the same age as yours, John.
Yeah, well,
Oh, so where's the anchor man gone?
He's
Grinch.
jarring. It's just he went to the Bournemouth game, so he got home back to the house late, so he's having some nosh.
Oh, right.
I tell you what,
So-
Pete, you were robbed in that semi-final for me.
semi-final.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you had a couple of decisions there that went against you.
Mm.
They also had a lot of chances that didn't materialize anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game though.
And we were the luckiest team on earth.
Yeah.
You see the game
Say
now?
that.
Forest were unlucky.
Yeah, they
Right.
were. Yeah.
You know,
Here comes Ollie.
I don't know what happened to Liverpool. They just fell flat the last couple of weeks. Terrible.
Going to pot, mate. We
I know,
started
flat as a pancake.
Yeah, we started the rot for you, unfortunately, when you knocked you out the FA Cup.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
maybe they should play all the academy boys again.
yeah, yeah.
What's going to happen to them when they get the new manager?
There you go.
I don't know. All the fans in Liverpool seem to be raving about him. This Dutch guy. And
Hello, Oliver.
Good evening, everybody.
Right, Ollie.
Ollie,
Managed to get in okay eventually.
Yeah, it should be easy. It should be one click
Seven
in.
for him on the south coast. Hey,
what's that?
I say it's 7:10 on the south coast.
Oh,
Yeah. And 9 degrees.
Yeah. And that's hot for us.
Yeah.
Have you stopped the swimming in the sea now, or do you not do that now?
No, they pour so much crap into it. I'm too worried about going into it now.
Yeah. You
Well,
don't.
you got the
you don't be battling against the
Any of the
current.
rivers either now, or anywhere.
the rivers are bad too, I hear, right?
Really,
Mm.
really bad. Yeah.
Don't you go to Saltdean, Ollie?
It's what?
Don't you go to Saltdean?
No. That's
Is that
quite
too far away?
for me.
Where is it then?
Sorry?
I thought it was a lot nearby you.
No,
The
I live in
outdoor.
Worthing. It's the opposite end.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's a fair bit of. Oh, sorry, hang on. That's it. That's better. Sorry about that.
Have you
Yeah.
got company, Oliver?
Sorry?
Have you got company?
No, to TV.
Oh,
No one likes me that much.
so when are you next going away, John?
The end of May, Steve.
Is this your Alaska thing?
Yeah, we're gonna go fly up to Fairbanks and do all that stuff, and then join the Holland American ship in Skagway. Yeah,
Back down to Seattle or Vancouver?
yeah, back to Vancouver. Then we'll take the bus back to Seattle. Yeah, kind of different because you fly from Fairbanks, and you take a train, and then you see Denali and the park, and then should
Yeah.
be fun.
I put it on this morning that Jane McDonald was in Glacier Bay
Yeah,
on the program we have. She does cruising programs.
Yeah.
And she was in Skagway and Juneau. She was obviously doing an Alaska cruise.
Ketchikan. She did the lumberjack thing, didn't she?
Yeah.
So John,
yeah.
Steve,
John,
Yes.
is the Sorry, is the land part that you're doing, is that still run by West Tours, or is it a different company now? Or is it inside with Holland America?
Yeah, Holland American. It's all, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not West Tours anymore then.
No. It's all done by Holland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, you're right.
You'll have to give me a wave when on your way back. And one of these days, when you're in Vancouver, when you know you're going to be in Vancouver, and if you've got an hour or two, I'll come down there and have a visit with you. Takes me 5 hours to get there, but
yeah, it wouldn't be worth it, Ray. We need to make a special trip up there to see you sometime.
Okay. Well, I go down there quite often, not all the time. My wife is down there practically every week, so
yeah.
Same with San Pedro, John.
Yeah.
Next time you're in San Pedro, let me know. That's only an hour from me.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to San Pedro again. I'd like to go to the Ports of Call, which I'm sure is still there.
I think so. Yeah, I was in San Pedro a week ago yesterday. Met up with an old ship's photographer that never worked with our company, but Tony Freeman Kosh introduced me to him, Dave Nicholson, and we went to the 22nd Landing Fish and Grill or something like that on 22nd Street. It's been there 25 years, so I don't think any of us remember it.
Yeah, after our time. I'm just thinking here, Ray, didn't you get mugged in San Pedro?
Yes, with Caveman.
You and Caveman?
Yeah. And Caveman knew we were going to get mugged and started running. I was with Malcolm too. I was with Malcolm Comley, and it was three guys that came running. We were in a burger restaurant, and these three guys were in there too. We didn't realize they were checking us out. And then when we started to walk back to the ship down just a regular housing estate, they all of a sudden started running down towards us, and we were talking, and all of a sudden Caveman took off down the road, and I turned to Malcolm, somebody, like, why is he running?
Was somebody flashing the cash?
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, I had my Siemens card in my back pocket poking out. Yeah. We didn't carry wallets in those days. I used to carry like whatever money I was taking ashore wrapped up in my I-95 card, which is in a little plastic. Remember, you used to have to take your I-95 if you went ashore, and it was in a little plastic holder. I used to keep my money in that, in my front jean pocket, because we always wore jeans in those days. And but they tried to pretend they were police, and we got into an altercation, and there was three of them. Two of them wrestled me to the floor and tried to get my Siemens card out, which they did. And the other one was struggling with Malcolm. And then all of a sudden, we heard we were right outside a house with an open front yard. And we heard somebody shout, "Stop or I'll shoot." And they took off running, actually ran after them to start with, and then walked back to whoever had said this, and there was somebody with a rifle pointed out the front door. The door was just open.
Hang on, Ray. A couple of things. Good evening, Blackpool Bob.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I'm sorry you have trouble. The link should be the same every week, so I don't know why you had trouble getting in.
Right.
Yeah, well,
let's get the end of this story, John.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rifle, I'd never seen it. Apart from my dad having a shotgun, I'd never really seen a gun before, except on the movies. So I wasn't afraid of it. I didn't think I was going to get shot. And I sort of walked towards the gun and asked them to call the police. And the gun just sort of slid back inside the door, and the door closed, and that was it. And that was the end of it. So.
And you still want to go back to San Pedro, Ray?
You're going to go looking for it.
Well, that was the only bad experience I had there. I had lots of other experiences there, but that was the only bad one.
They only got your Siemens card. That was it.
They took my Siemens card. They didn't get my cash or anything. Yeah. They must have thought it was something else, right? It wasn't really much use to them.
No. No.
So, yeah.
I had an experience in San Pedro myself on my first trip to sea. Or Solva. Me and this guy I went to shore, we were walking down the street. And we went into this shop, what looked like a souvenir type shop.
Yeah.
Bit of a general store thing. And we went in, and this display cabinet was smashed. And we're looking around, just looking, and we walked out the front door. This big black and white pulled up outside. Cops piled out with the guns pointing at us and put us against the wall. Fucking great introduction to the United States. Thank you.
So they thought you'd robbed the place?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying, fucking hell, I'm from Wigan. Leave me alone. I'm from Wigan. They let us go, obviously.
Apologies for the late arrival, everybody, but so nice that I managed to tune in well in advance, didn't I, Colonel?
You did. It's fine, Dave.
Just like the other ship.
Do you know what I feel?
Rob and fucking disappear.
Stephen.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, well, it's nice to see everybody. Obviously, what was the background you've got behind you, Scotty? Is that Vancouver or
Vancouver? Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Stanley Park.
Yeah.
From Stanley in the background.
Canada, is it Canada Place? They call it.
Yeah, Canada Place. Yeah.
If you guys saw Stanley Park now, you'd be shocked. They're going to cut down 160,000 trees in the Stanley Park itself, because it's been devastated by this species of moth that's killed all the cedars, the big cedar trees, and then we've had drought several years in a row, and they're all dying. So they've got it and then we've had some really big windstorms that took a lot of trees down. So they're actually going in there and cutting all these trees down. And it used to be this lush green forest, and now it looks like there's a fire gone through it already. It's quite shocking.
Wow. We're going to plant any more?
Well, they will plant more, but another thing that they've had to do here in a lot of areas like Stanley Park is clear out the underbrush. So it just the forest looks different, right? They do that to prevent wildfires from spreading faster. So and Vancouver itself has changed a lot since our days there.
Yeah, they got lots of high rises there, and people can't afford to live in them.
Right.
No, it's one of the most expensive places to live in the world, Vancouver. It's crazy.
Thank you,
looking good again. Beautiful.
Thank
Colin's
you.
looking good again, look.
Hello, Brendan.
Brendan.
That's Colin. He'll tell you all about.
Hello, Colin. You're looking more attractive every week, Colin.
Yeah.
Oh,
He gets prettier by the day, doesn't he?
And Louise, whatever you did to switch on the video and the audio, could you write it down so he knows?
Waste of time, Dave. Honestly, and Colonel, waste of time. That's why I'm here. I am the carer.
Honestly,
hand it over to himself now.
Yeah.
Bonjour, everybody.
Hey, Colin.
Colin.
Bonjour.
Bonsoir, Matalo.
Yeah. Brendan, that's very, 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 very.
I'm impressed with Colin.
Hello. Oh, hang on. Who are you? Colin.
What?
Can we? No, it's nice to see you, Colin.
Right. Thank you, David. Thank you.
Canard.
Oh, dear.
As Del Boy was saying, yeah, it is. Hard, isn't it?
Hard, yeah.
Hard.
I was going to tell you guys, I found an interesting blog. I didn't put it on the Seagoing chat, but I was thinking about doing it. And it was about Gravesend Merchant Naval Training College.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what put me onto it was that my wife bought a dress that was blue and white striped. And I said to her, it looks like an Andy Pandy jacket. And she's like, what's an Andy Pandy jacket, right? And then I was trying to find pictures of an Andy Pandy jacket, right?
In my day.
And what, they were called what?
Piss jackets.
Piss
jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who named them
Yeah.
that? That's outrageous, isn't it?
What were
the
they
piss
called?
jacket.
Piss
Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah.
They're pissing around in.
Exactly. Well, actually, can we ask Blackpool Bob? Were they there in the early days with P&O?
They were there when I went. Yes, I had one when I was there. Yes, yeah.
And were they
But
called piss jackets then?
They were. Yes.
There we go then. So they've been there since.
That's all I ever knew them as, piss jackets. Never knew them as anything else.
No.
When were you there? When were you there, Bob?
1954.
Well, there you go. See, so
Yeah.
this blog has all these comments from people reflecting on when they went to Merchant Naval Training College in Gravesend and talking about many of the things that we had, like pillow fights and attacking each other in the dorms and stuff like this.
I got held back a week when I was there for letting a fire extinguisher off in the recreation hall.
I tell you what.
Say first login, Bob.
Yeah, yeah,
Not the first of many.
Yeah.
The funniest thing that ever I remember from the sea school, there was obviously an inspection every week, wasn't there? Everybody remember that? Weekly inspection, like captain's inspections, yeah?
Yeah.
Every morning, I thought.
You could be right, Ray, actually. I don't remember. But the thing that used to make me laugh was us being in the catering side of it. We were supposed to be spotlessly clean and all that. And it was always the deckies that won the cup.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that was. The deckies always won it that week or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Colin, I think, and I know from deckies that I got to know well on the ferries, that the deckies, they have more time to spare than the rest of us.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair
I
enough.
honestly do think so, because they had their, their watches. If they were on the bridge, it would be, I don't know, 4 on, 4 off,
4 on, 8 off, wasn't it?
6, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They seriously did, I think, had more time. I know I should have kept it cleaner, but I do think that they had more time in the day,
Yeah,
they
you're
spent a
probably
lot
right,
of time scrubbing their jeans, didn't they, to make them look faded? Yeah.
What was interesting though was that the many of the blogs mentioned the lifeboat instructor, Mr. McGoran.
Yeah.
He was there at least in 1964, and he was still there in 1984, according to these. Because I was there in 1978. He was there then. And I read one reference that's saying he was there in 1984.
Yeah. His favourite thing was to get us to row him down to the pub.
I remember him from 1967.
Before we rowed him back again.
We never got that. Was a myth for me when we were there, because they always said that we got to row down to the pub. But the day that we put the lifeboat down, the guy that happened to be standing, when you number off, the guy that happened to be standing at the number where you had to put the bung in the boat was like a wet blanket, and the boat got lowered. McGoran's at the tiller. The other guy's up at the front, or maybe McGoran's at the front. I can't remember where. He was at the opposite end of the boat, and the guy went to put the bung in, and there was a big jet of water came squirting up, and he couldn't get the bung in, and then he just turned to jelly because McGoran was swearing at him, "You fucking wanker," and all this lot, and started coming down through the boat. Everybody's sitting there, and we almost sank. We had to row into the beach. So that was our pub trip.
So, Ollie, did you go there, Ollie, to the Gravesend? Yeah.
Gravesend, yeah. It's only just been opened.
What year was when you went?
72. 71.
I've just been open. I was there in 69.
Yeah, I was there, Steve, 69.
I was there in
When
68.
did the new school buildings open?
What,
From the old prison?
which school, Steve, which school did you go to? Is that the new one?
Gravesend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there
the
was
new
two
one.
there, wasn't there?
The new one. The new
Yeah,
one.
yeah. The
New
old one is what Bob's on about.
The
Was the
the one
old
we
prison,
went-
wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it was a
One we
prison.
went to
It was
was
an old
at-
prison when I went.
An old prison. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you got the piss jackets from then,
Well, exactly.
because that's what they were. I've seen it in Porridge.
I definitely
right.
missed out because people talk about going to the Flying Angel Club, which is where I definitely we went to the Flying Angel Club. But some people apparently went to a pub where they'd serve you underage. I don't know where the pub was, but
Hang on a minute. The pub. I got to think about this. Was the pub called the New World Inn or something?
Was
Does
it
anybody
off the
remember that?
See?
Was it by a big
Yeah, good.
green park between the pub and the river?
You had to get across the river to the other side to get to the pub.
Oh,
Tilbury.
No, it wasn't Tilbury, but the pub was called the New World Inn or something, or the World's End.
World's End.
No.
Yeah,
Could imagine Grace End being described as the World's End.
I'm gonna look it up on the internet. Give me a minute.
All
We
right.
used to
Well, you
catch
carry on.
very
I'll
old-
find out.
Hey, well, bearing in mind, because Taffy,
Louise.
myself, and Colonel, and obviously, and then Pete, I think, and especially Chris, we didn't go there, did we?
Oh, you
No.
didn't go there?
Didn't go near it.
No,
No, in
didn't
fact,
do it,
what's
no.
funny for me is that I always remember it being at the Manchester Canal, and there was a huge ship there, which obviously wasn't huge, but to me it was. And I wanted to go to sea from a kid, but I lived in Manchester. But this stayed with me. But I had bloody terrible eyesight until I had my cataract surgery a couple of years ago. And even those days, I thought, well, I can't qualify to be on the deck. And to me, it was you got to go on the deck. I didn't think about being in the stupid catering side of it.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that was how I was thinking as a teenager, Dave. I thought, no, I'm not going to be a stupid waiter or something.
Yeah, but you got all the clips on the Manchester Ship Canal, John.
I know it couldn't have been that big.
You had a pool in Manchester.
Manchester Liners boats weren't very big, were they?
No, I know, but I'm talking about when I was 7 years old.
When you were a little lad, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know that when I worked on Hebridean Princess, which you know is a very, very small ship, 2,112 tons, 50 guests. Well, the year before I joined the ship, I was hearing stories when I arrived and joined the ship. The year before, they'd been up and down the Manchester Ship Canal. Now, the ship was small enough to go down there. They went down to Salford Quays and did a U-turn there. And they came alongside on the quay so that the guests could all go ashore. Now, these guests, we know, they're elderly people, and they're paying a fair few bob to go on the trip. But when they got ashore, there was a huge well, you'll remember it, Steve, because you probably went there. There was a huge, big, massive marquee or tent on the quayside at Salford Quays, and it was a show there. The Lady Boys of Bangkok were appearing. Well,
lovely.
You can imagine. You can imagine.
Hang on. What do you mean I should know? Why should I know?
Because you live local, Steve. All right.
Has Steve not paid his electric bill?
Me?
Oh dear.
Can't see you, Steve.
Well, I'm here.
I can see
him.
He's top starboard.
You'll have to.
He's starboard far forward on mine. I don't know.
Yeah, he's in the Panama.
He's middle left on mine.
In Panama, yes.
Full side for
Bob and Chris are midships to me, and I think Scotty's port side, Ollie's starboard, and Tappy, you're nothing personal, but you're starboard aft, right? Along with Bob port aft.
Down the arse end.
Yeah.
And Brendan and Colin, you're midships aft, all right?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all for
I don't know.
tea. Changed a hell of a lot nowadays.
Going back to sea school, I remember I'd got a tip off that I think I might have told this story before. If the dentist there was awful, and what would happen? He would give you all sorts of fillings that you didn't need. He was on the make, and so I went to my dentist and I got checked up, and he said, "You're fine. Don't need anything doing." So I said, "Can you do a little letter to that?" So the secretary typed out a little letter saying he'd had a checkup, all good for 6 months. I went to the dentist at the sea school. He said, "Yeah, 7 fillings." I said, "Oh, hold on, I've got a letter here from my dentist just a month ago, and he says I'm fine. Now you've got to have them done." I said, "Well, I'm not having them done." So he said, "Right, go to the captain or whatever it was. I can't remember who was in charge." And he said, "Look, you got a choice." He said, "You either have the fillings or you're not going to sea." You go in there, he yanked old ones out and put fresh ones back in again. But there were lads coming out of there that had immaculate teeth, not a filling in them.
Yeah.
I can corroborate
I've got 12 fillings,
I can corroborate that, Brendan, because the same thing happened to me. And I remember I'd never had a filling. And I had regular to see the dentist once a year, and I remember lying in the chair, which you probably remember this too, and he's calling out these numbers to the assistant, and the numbers he's calling out are the numbers of your teeth, because I guess they all have position numbers.
Yeah.
And that corresponds to where he's gonna get your filling. So he calls out all these numbers. Then he gave me an injection, and on both sides of my mouth, so my face was numb. And then you had to go out and sit in the corridor with all these other kids drooling because their faces are numb. Because he would give you the injection, you'd go out and wait till it went numb, and then you'd go back in. And I had 5 fillings, personally, all in one go. And I've never had, ever since then, actually, I don't know whether it's because of him or what, but I have got really good teeth, and apart from a couple of crowns, I have never really had any problems.
He'd get sent down for doing that nowadays, wouldn't he?
Yeah. He was famous for it. I don't know about the others, but it certainly happened.
Yeah, I had it done.
So, but where does he live? What island? What island does he live on that he owns?
If I could catch up with him now, I'll give him a kick in the ghoulies.
Isle of Wight.
Well, with me, I went to Gravesend, but before I went to the Shipping Federation in Liverpool, and they said to me, "Go and see your dentist before you go."
I did the same.
Gravesend.
Yeah.
So I went to my dentist, and he was just as bloody bad as the one at Gravesend. I went in with six fillings with no injections or anything, straight in.
I remember being told. I remember being told on the very first morning when you had to turn out on the parade ground at like 6 a.m. or something. I don't remember exactly what time, but I remember being told that I had to shave, and I didn't have anything on my face. There's nothing. I had this thing when I was a kid. I thought, well, when I get older, I'm gonna grow a beard, or as I get older, I was gonna grow a beard, and I'll get the world record for the youngest person with a beard, because I figured you could just grow it any time you wanted, right?
Yeah.
And I remember being told to shave, and there was nothing on my face. And there was another kid there, the same age, who had a full beard. He was like 16 years old, and he had a full beard.
Right.
Hey, Brendan, wasn't Peter Ambrose chief steward there?
He was. He was an instructor there.
Yeah.
Peter was, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one other thing was when we had our photographs taken, you weren't supposed to smile. And the very first day we got there was a kid in our class who got nicknamed Smiler because he always had a smile on his face. Like it was the way his mouth went up at the corners. Even when he was frowning, he had a smile on his face. And when we went in to get the photos done, the photographer told him not to smile. And the photographer was getting really angry with him, saying, "Don't smile." And we're standing in the lineup. We're like, "He isn't smiling, sir. He's always like that."
I was in dorm 36, right up in the top right-hand corner.
Blimey, Derek, you got a good memory.
Wow.
I don't remember that.
Furthest to walk when you got 6 o'clock standing out in the courtyard in the winter.
I do remember that we were in a corner dorm, and there was some kind of rivalry between two. I think it was between a deck dorm and the dorm on the opposite side of us, and we were in between. And because it was in a corner, they could look through the windows and sort of taunt each other. And one night, the two dorms came together to fight, and they met in our dorm, and it was just absolute mayhem. And officers came up, and we all got into trouble, even though we weren't the ones instigating it.
Did any of you boys sail with any of the Decky boys in later years?
No,
I
Not
met
that I
two
recall.
guys. I met two guys in Trinidad that were at the
Seamen's mission.
What were the Seamen's missions called?
Flying Angel.
An angel.
But the Flying Angel clubs?
Yes.
Yeah.
or missions to seamen sometimes.
Yeah, I went ashore in Trinidad, and I went to the Seamen's mission, and there was two guys that was in the same class as me there, and they were on a tanker, and they said it was awful. And I was on the Sun Princess, and they were telling me how bad it was.
Bellboy then, or
I was a bellboy then. Yeah. Yeah, I remember going to the Seamen's mission and sitting by the pool and playing pool and drinking cold beer in the Seamen's mission. Which, when I first joined the Sun Princess, I wasn't allowed to drink beer because we weren't old enough.
Right,
Dave O'Halloran wouldn't give us a beer.
That was a difficult thing that I had, was because when I joined the Orchidees, you have to bear this in mind. My parents had a pub, so when I joined the Orchidees when I was 16, I was accustomed to drinking lager anyway. I just walked up to the crew bar and said, "Here's a pint, mate," and he went, "Fuck off." He said, "You're only a junior rate," and I said, "My parents owned a pub. I own a pub." I said, "What are you talking about? I can have a beer anytime I like." "No, not on here, you can't."
Oh no.
Yeah, but anyway, the bottom line was you used to get the Goanese steward to get us the beers instead.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was the easy way around it.
Welcome to Hilda. Lovely to see you, John.
Hi, John.
Hi, John.
I don't know whether you noticed me or not.
Yeah.
I had a job to do tonight.
Oh, it's lovely to see you. Are you you're still out where you are? You know.
No, I've been back in the UK for a week now.
Right.
I thought the weather.
I thought the weather looked too good behind you.
Yeah, and the wrong greenery as well.
Oh, brilliant! So you got back safely, which is
yes, a lot of problems at the airport. I arrived back a week ago Friday, I think it was, and I landed at 6:30, and I had a taxi coming from Broadstairs to pick me up. Unfortunately, somebody had tried to commit suicide on the I think it was the M23 or one of those, jumping off the bridge onto the motorway.
Oh dear.
Very inconsiderate. Very inconsiderate.
My taxi was held up there for over 4 hours. As I say, I landed at 6:30, and he eventually arrived at 11:15.
Oh,
I got home at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh, mate.
Well, it's good to see you back, John. And Taffy, it's good to see that you're relaxing in your Welsh pillow.
Yeah. I'm a bit distracted because hello everybody, but something's just come up on my screen and it's concerning me a bit as my phone has gone a bit wonky with some Chinese language coming up on it and hello and even though I'm signed out of my phone.
Oh, really?
And on my screen, blanking out Peter's face, is your Apple ID and phone number are now being used for FaceTime on a new phone. a new iPhone. If you recently signed in to Alan iPhone, you can ignore this notification. Well, I haven't recently signed in.
I would ignore it.
It sounds like a scam. Swipe it out of the way and delete it.
Just delete it.
Yeah. Delete it.
Yeah, the only thing on it says okay.
Yeah, don't do it.
They want you to click on something, Taffy, so you just get rid of it. Yeah.
So I wonder, okay. I won't do anything other than try and delete.
Well, you could turn your phone off for a start.
Yeah.
Just turn it off.
Yeah. Then turn it back on again.
Turn it back on again and make it away.
Off and turn it back on again.
And then just check you haven't been hacked.
Because there's somebody having a crack at this phone as well, because there's all sorts of foreign language coming up on it.
Ollie, can you stop sending those messages to Taffy, please?
Anyhow, okay, so I'll don't take no notice. I'll just carry on getting out.
All right, that's good.
Turn it off.
Yeah. So.
Where were we?
Probably one of your friends from Boogie Street.
They're probably after you. They're probably after your phone because it looks like it's made of solid gold.
Yeah, it is a nice phone, actually.
Well, that's good. That's good.
We're all many of us will be in Southampton, won't we? Shortly.
So John, you're back in time for May time down in Southampton. Have you been? I spoke to Phil Butcher only a few days ago, and he sounded pretty good actually. So I don't know if you've managed to speak to him yet.
Not yet. I haven't. No, I've seen one or two messages on Facebook, but no, I haven't spoken to him yet.
Yeah,
I've got to catch up with a few people actually. I haven't. I thought about that today, but
did you see Roger, John? Were you speaking with Roger?
I did speak with him before I came back, and he was going to pop round and see me, but he never did, and I haven't heard anything since.
Oh, right.
I think it was about 3 weeks before he was coming back to the UK. I went on the beach and met him and had a beer and a snack with him, and.
Good. Was he in good? Was he in good shape?
He looked in very good shape. Actually, looked very well.
Good. Good.
I was just thinking that we ought to float around a couple of ideas where we might meet up on the Thursday evening. If you're going to be in Southampton.
Oh yes, in Southampton. Well, actually, Scotty, I might be. I'm on a commitment that I won't be in town that day. I'm afraid, but
that's right.
It's just to say it'll be good fun to meet up with everybody on the Friday itself, but I'm sure there'll be a few others coming in on the Thursday for sure. You know, are you coming down Thursday, Ollie, or are you coming on the day?
Thursday.
There you are. So there's Ollie.
Oh, hello, Butts.
Oh, hang on. Look, Colin, we've seen the lovely granddaughter several times. Now we're seeing the cat.
This is
pushing the crew bar.
This is
Pussy in the crew bar.
This is Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins.
It is.
It's a good job, Sophie's. It's a good job, Sophie's asleep.
He was a rescue cat.
Look.
He's now 15 years old. He was a rescue cat.
Is that a dog or a cat, Ray?
It's a dog.
A rabbit. Isn't it, Ray? It's a rabbit. I couldn't tell.
That's
it's the cutest.
I'm just stroking my pussy now. I'm just stroking my pussy now.
And Blackpool Bob, are you breeding a dozen?
Our breeding's finished. No.
Go on. Where you go?
Daisy.
How is she? Is she all right?
She's all right. Yeah, she's asleep. Yeah.
Good.
How are you after your major operation, Bob?
Sorry?
How are you now after your major operation? I haven't spoken to you for a long time.
Yeah, I'm okay on that one. I've got to have another one next. They found something in my left lung now.
Oh dear.
Well, they sent me for a scan a couple of weeks ago. This radioactive thing they pump into your bloodstream, and it's apparently if you've got any cancers in your body, they light up. But this thing that I've got in my lung didn't light up, so they're thinking it might not be cancerous, but they still want to take it out. Well,
oh crikey!
Oh,
yeah.
Is that imminent, Bob? Or
I only went to see the quack the other day on Thursday. So he said the surgeon will see you in a couple of weeks and go from there.
Yeah.
The only reason they want to take it out is because they want to do a biopsy of it, probably.
Well, yeah, he said whatever it is shouldn't be there, so we'll take it out. You know.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys, I got to run. I got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Chris, but I'll just let you know something that I was going to say at the end of the crew bar is that Fruity did a wonderful remembrance of Tinker Hogan. That'll be on the recording.
So, great.
Something to watch. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that was.
Going on at the beginning or the end, John?
No, it's going to be at the end because I've already discussed with Fruity. It's going to be at the end.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be sure to watch that.
Mm-hmm. Who was that, John?
Yeah. Noel Hogan's wife, Tinker, who used to be on the casino on the ship, she passed away this week, John.
Oh, did she? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I spoke with Noel this morning, and he was okay.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a bit of an update, Sean, his son, is flying back to America in the next few days. I don't know who saw the streaming of the funeral. Well, I thought Sean's eulogy was fantastic. It was a really, really lovely tribute to his mum.
Yeah.
And Sarah, the eldest daughter, I think is staying for about another month, maybe a bit longer, with her two boys. So he's still got a house full. And Stacey works for an American company, but is based in the UK, in Ireland at the house. But at some point, I guess she will return as well. Didn't indicate when that would be, but he was okay, and he talked through it all, and she had organised everything. Every part of that funeral you saw, she organised it.
Wow.
And, an interesting story was that the priest, the priest he was quite a chatty guy, wasn't he? And I remember him saying to the two little boys, run around, do what you want. Where in my day in church, if you moved an inch, you got your ear clipped. But
see you guys next time. I'll be sure to look at that. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
And he was at a poker evening at Seamus's with Noel and Tinker about 25 years ago, and he hit it off with Tinker, and she said, "I'd like you to do my funeral," and so they got in touch 25 years later.
Wow.
And they did it. It's a lovely story. And but he was okay, and he wanted to pass on his best to everyone, and that he'll catch up with us all. We're intending to go over to see him in October, we think, but we'll be doing a little bit of a tour of Ireland as well, anyway. So we'll see them. But anyway, he was okay. He's still obviously pretty raw, but he just wanted to pass on his best to all, and that.
How long was she ill
thanks for all the lovely messages. Pardon?
I said, how long was she ill for?
Well, Tinker's had cancer for many years. He's had he sort of fought these battles off, time after time after time.
Really?
Right. Yeah. I don't know the exact dates, Bob, but I mean, she'd had several bouts, and she'd bounced them off, and she was a real fighter when it came to that thing. I mean, she really did. And she was at a party the day before. She organised this massive party. It's amazing, really. And well, anyway.
Well, we saw her in Galway, didn't we?
Yeah. She was in Cardiff as well.
Cardiff as well. Yeah. In Cardiff
kept getting lost in the shops. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Noel was going mad. Where is she now? I'll tell you one story about Tinker, because we've been over to Noel and Tinker's quite a few times over the years, and we went over there when the children were very young, and Tinker loves to chat. She was a real chatterbox, and she liked her cigarette, and she was doing scrambled eggs for us for all of us for breakfast, and she's stirring these scrambled eggs, and she's got this cigarette on the go, and there's this big piece of ash off the end of the cigarette, and I'm thinking, you're going to put that in the ashtray or what? Anyway, the kid said, so I turned round, I turned back, there's no ash on the cigarette. I'm pretty sure it went in the scrambled eggs. Anyway, they still tasted good. Real character. Sadly missed.
Oh, lovely.
Sadly missed, yes.
Lovely. Yeah. Well, we'll look forward to the Fruities, wonderful, collection of photos with Tinker at the end, which it for those who haven't seen it as yet, it's wonderful. So we'll look forward to it. Moving on, and can somebody shake Ollie, please? Shake him. It's all right. He's moving now. It's all right. It's all right. Ollie,
David.
I was thinking of you today because your beloved team was down at Bournemouth, who I went to watch, which was fun. And it was very kind of you to let Bournemouth win, but that's all we need to say about the football, all right? But
yes.
I was thinking about you today, Ollie. Yeah,
thank you.
That's all right.
We must got one other thing to say about the soccer. Good luck to Mr. Inge tonight. I believe they're playing tonight, your team.
It's very thoughtful, and thanks for thinking of that, Taffy. Luckily, we managed to get the game in early. We played. Bob, am I being nice? Yeah, it was that early. We played yesterday. We did.
What was the score then?
Taffy,
what was the score, David?
Which one?
Sorry?
Bristol City.
Yeah. Oh, Bristol City. They managed to. They won 2-0. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you're talking about the ladies' football.
Oh, the lady. Oh, shit. Taffy, you're bang on. Sorry, you're right. The ladies are playing tonight. They're playing now, actually.
I bet there's some lookers there in that
kickoff. They're playing now against Man City, but I think they're going to get relegated.
Probably Lally's in the air by now.
Boner Lallies. Yeah, you're bang on. Absolutely right, Taffy. And thanks, Scotty.
Yeah. Hey, Taffy. Do you know that Wrexham are playing Chelsea in the USA in the summer?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to them. Oh, I'm not 100% sure, Bob.
Yeah.
But they should be playing Blackpool next year.
I'm afraid they will. Yes.
Yes,
you're
they
right.
will.
Yeah.
Oh, the Taff Mobile's heading north.
The race course.
Again, Taffy.
Again,
Yeah.
Hey, what about yesterday? They let Reading win yesterday. If they had won yesterday, we'd have been in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So Chelsea are one of the teams that play too many games and they don't want to play replays in the FA Cup.
Yeah. Oh.
So who do we reckon's going to win the Premier League then?
Sadly, I think it'll be Man City. I think
it will be that. Yeah,
gotta be City, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Boring.
Yeah.
They've got to
Hilda, you already knew that, didn't you?
I think that's a boring.
Liverpool, but not anymore.
Man City, boring.
Yeah, you get more enjoyment out of EFL.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, anyway, look, going off the footy for a moment. Hilda, with you being, how many months were you out? Was it 4 months, 3 months?
5 months.
5.
Well, you missed all that lovely weather back here, John.
Yeah. Well, when I left, it was very hot and very humid. We was up in the 36, 37 temperature, and that was on my balcony in the shade. The day before I came home, it was so hot. I was doing my packing. I shut all the windows and the doors and put the AC on, and I've not got over it yet. It's dried my throat right out. You might notice my voice is a bit, it's done nothing but cough. It's easing up a bit now, but and then of course there was the flying back in the plane. That was all air conditioned, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's affected me a little bit this time, but no, it's getting a little bit too hot, really.
Wow. Have you got somebody good to look after your place while you're away?
Yeah, I have. In actual fact, I've got some security cams there, and there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi. I've got fibre optic there, and I've also got a inverter in case we get any power cuts there to keep it going. and it went offline last couple of days. Anyway, a friend of mine that's got the keys, I asked him, he's gone round and he got in contact with the people, and they got it working today. But now I had to have a new camera put in. He's put it outside the front door, and but the other one in the lounge, because it went off, I've got to put a new code in there, which is on the label or something or other. Well, I don't have that with me.
No,
it was working okay. You know, I didn't need it, so. At the moment, I've sent him a message to go round and just when the next time he goes round to see if he can find out what this code is.
You can take a picture. You can take a picture of the back of the camera, John. That'll work.
Yeah, well, the camera's it's a camera in the lounge. It's right up in the corner, which isn't easy to get to. But it probably is on the camera.
Yeah.
But I'll tell it. There's some step ladders there, so I'll see if he can sort it out for me. But the main one, the one outside the front door is working, so that's the main one really. And but I've had a bit of problem there with the builder developer. When I bought the property, I had this contract to build it, and I had to get permission from the Reserve Bank of India to buy property, and to do that I had to do 9 months continuously there, which I was doing in those days. I gave him copies of my passport and all the entries, etc., and he got a friend in Mumbai, this is the developer, that sent all this to them, and we got the reply back that gave me permission to buy movable property, as it's termed, which means buildings. Just before I came back, I had a meeting with him over trying to get these deeds, and he said, "Well, no, you was never going to get the deeds." He said, "You only paid to have the building built." I said, "Well, why would I do that if I'm not going to own it?" So now I've got this problem going on with him.
Oh Christ!
And I've got a property there worth it is worth over 200 grand, and he's telling me that I don't own it.
Oh
my
God!
Yeah, when they want the maintenance, I own it.
Yeah,
they ask me for the maintenance. It's a complete mess up.
Oh dear.
And the law is, because he's got the deeds, if anything happens to me, he can claim the property.
He's got the deeds.
And to take him to court, all he will do will be contesting it. Well, I don't have time on my side to mess about with that.
No.
So
that's a bit.
I wanted a meeting with him just before I came back, and I sent him a text saying, "Can we have a meeting before I leave?" "Oh yes, I'll get back to you." Well, he never did. Well, now I'm here for I should be going back at the end of October probably. So I've got another friend that's helping me with this and coming to these meetings with me that's so well genned up on all this sort of thing. So I've got to send him a text and say, well, a couple of months before I'm going back, I'll get in contact with him again to sort everything out that needs sorting out. And what we've suggested, and he has agreed to it, is that I find a buyer, which he will then sell the property to, and I will lease it off them for 2-3 years, depending how long I want it for. And that's about the only way I can see of doing it at the moment. Well, I have got somebody that's interested in buying it and will let me stay there as long as I want to.
Well, that just to get the deeds?
Yeah, well, I can't get the deeds now. When I bought it, they could sell property to foreigners. Well, since then, although I got permission, and I could have had it then, and installed it all this time, but now they've changed the law that they can't sell property to foreigners. So I'm in a bit of a catch-22 there.
They just moved the goalpost for you, haven't they?
Well, they have, but I mean, why would I buy the property in the first place
if you thought you couldn't own it?
Yeah.
And why would he say I've got to get permission to buy the property from the Reserve Bank of India?
Crazy.
Why didn't he tell me all this to start with?
Yeah.
The only thing I'm thinking of now is to go to the media and see if they'll pick it up and publish him and expose him for what he is, because apparently his father, I'm not the only one he's been doing this to, and is to expose him for what he is. He's trying to sell properties still at the moment. But if people know what he's going to have a hell of a job to sell any more properties, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
What a nightmare.
When I first met him in his office, the first thing he does is crosses himself, kisses his hands or fingers, and touches his crucifix on the wall and tells me he's a very religious person.
Sort of front.
Oh, sounds a bit dodgy to me, John.
Yeah, very dodgy.
Sounds very dodgy.
Oh dear, dear. Well, John, I was going to ask you one question actually, which we were talking about when we all, first going to sea, and many of us, or many of the boys, I didn't, but many of the boys went to sea school. Did you go to sea school before going to the sea, or were you a little bit older and went direct to the ship?
No, because I was in catering. I went straight into the catering. The only time I went to Gravesend was, I think it was a couple of trips before I retired to take my survival course, I think it was, because they realised I'd never done that.
Mm-hmm. Right, sea survival, yeah.
Bit late, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Brendan. All right. Start all that.
The only other one I did was the Merchant Navy's Advanced Fighting Fire course down at Plymouth, I think it was then.
Yeah.
That was with Dave Morgan, and I think Trevor Friday was there as well.
Trevor Friday.
Hell. There's some names.
Oh my God.
Can never wake him up. Can never wake him up.
Flipping heck, that must have been a challenge.
It was. It was. Apparently, the week before we was there, I mean, you spend the morning in the classrooms, they're explaining what you're going to be doing, and then in the afternoon, they got this small ship sunk in concrete, and you have to go in and retrieve bodies. This place is full of smoke. You've got to go up companionways and ladders and God knows what. Well, Dave Morgan.
Guys, my battery power's going to go any second, so if I go off, I'll catch you all next time.
Yeah, it's time to wrap up anyway, Dave.
I've got to go anyway, chaps.
Anyway, we got our certificates.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're back. It's just about to go down on you, is it, Steve?
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, that's very nice.
There you are, talking about his time. Well,
it's the only thing going down on me these days, mate.
So boys, don't forget, after this we will be having this lovely tribute to Tinker, which Fruity has been putting together, and we appreciate him for doing that.
Thank you, Fruity. Done a good job there, mate.
Right. Excuse me, Dave. Will it be directly after this? Or...
Just a question. How do you pick it up?
It'll be on the recording, Brendan.
Oh, the recording. Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
When will that be?
I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Bob.
Cheers.
Yeah, we'll give a wave to Colonel. He's going to be doing his thing.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Cheers,
right.
guys. All the best.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Ciao.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Yeah. Cheers, Steve. Well done, Steve.
Okay. Bye bye.
Down to 1%.
And John, good to see you.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. Bye,
Are we
guys.
still waving?
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Waving. It's still a live show. Still a live show.
Bye for now.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Yeah.
3,
Bye.
2, 1, and it's not.
There's a yellow rose in Texas that I am gonna see. Nobody else could miss her, not half as much as me. She cried so when I left her, it like to broke my heart. And if I ever find her, we never more will part. She's the sweetest little rosebud that Texas ever knew. Her eyes are bright as diamonds, they sparkle like the dew. You may talk about your Clementine and sing of Rosalie, but the yellow rose of Texas is the only girl for me. So now I'm going to find her, for my heart is full of woe. We'll do the things together we did so long ago. We'll play the banjo gay. She loved me like